Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Xtremetarot, where we do moon readings and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a love reading, a zodiac reading for Gemini. We're just seeing what messages want to come through here, what's going on between you and your person. I have this side to represent you, this side to represent your person, and this to represent the energy between you right now. If I get going with this reading and you find it doesn't resonate, please feel free to check my Gemini playlist and see if any of those titles like jump out at you. But this is most likely for people that are going to be in no contact. I don't usually say that, but in this one, I feel like there's some sort of standoff going on between the two of you and like you're not talking at all. So if that's not the case, like maybe this isn't your reading. Just the way that these two are like faced away from each other, I feel like the way you're both looking at the relationship is very different. But anyway, real quick, I'm also gonna mention that I just want to break down the reading, so I'm going to get your person's thoughts, feelings, intentions, and next actions towards you, as well as some messages at the end. I also shuffled a song for you, and it was I Go Crazy by Paul Davis. And again, it's like, well, that song talks about like, hey, hello girl, it's been a while, like almost like a breakup or something like that, where he's like, I learned how to laugh and smile again or something. Getting over you was so hard, or that's not a direct lyric, but he's like, just when I thought I was over you, I see your face and it just ain't true, like blah blah blah, I go crazy, like whatever. But also, okay, so let's go on with this. So the card for the connecting energy between you, Soror Mystica, mystical sister. I feel like what that is saying, what this card talks about is how there's just one part I want to read, because I feel like right now, like your energy towards your person is very like, it's almost like you're angry, your pride is getting in your way, even like you could be doing things out of spite. Again, if this isn't resonating, like feel free to check my other place, because this is a very specific message, I feel like. But the energy between the two of you, it says sacred ally, anima, and outreach. Just when you thought, oh my god, just when you thought you could just, that's like that song, just when I thought I was over you. That's so weird. I read this before, but I didn't think about that till just now. But anyway, just when you thought you could traverse the alchemical path by yourself, Soror Mystica appears. This card indicates a dear friend or sacred ally holds you in their heart at this very moment. With their support, you are able to do what you cannot do yourself. That's really weird, because we have this staff energy here for your person, and it says you will be taken care of in difficult times. And I always think about like a staff or a cane, like with their support, you were able to do like almost as like a form of support, or like a metaphor for support. So anyway, okay. Between you exists an alchemical pact based on the ingredients of respect, honesty, and unconditional love. It's as if you've known each other for many lifetimes. You may have shared an experience from which you are always bonded. This archetype may come in any gender, age, or form. One distinct characteristic of Soror Mystica is that they practice the art of witnessing and listening. They have no need to judge, fix, or give advice. Presence is enough. When this card appears, tend to the flame of friendship, be a mystical sister to another. So I feel like what's happening here is that like maybe you and this person have a sort of friendship too, but like there is this like romantic connection between you as well. Or maybe this really could just be about your friend or something, I guess. I really did intend it to be a love reading, but I guess you never know. But it's almost as if maybe like you tried to like take this connection to like a romantic place, or even just like a sexual place, because we have like Scorpio and Leo, which are two signs I associate with like passion and sexual stuff. Even this card talks about like sexual things. And I'm also thinking about another song by that same artist who wrote or who sang that song that we got for the reading, I Go Crazy. It's called Cool Night. Like, it's gonna be a cool night. But it's about like, come over, let me hold you by the firelight. If it don't feel right, you can go, blah blah blah. But it's just like about how like it's a cool night, like come over. Like, so maybe like that's something that happened, like either like you shared a night together and then this person kind of like ghosted you out, or like they just like ghosted you to begin with, and like you made plans and they never showed up or something. Because the lion, the shadow side of the lion is being withdrawn and like sort of like let me just look at it real quick. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to just quickly look. withdrawn, too serious. It can be seen as aloof. And it's saying that like only people who really know them like see like that side of them. Otherwise they seem very aloof and distant from other people. So I feel like that's sort of like how you're seeing them, as like aloof, as someone that's trying to keep their distance from you or something like that. And it's almost like you're like, okay, you want to keep your distance from me, like I'll show you distance. Like I'm getting like a vibe like that from you. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. I feel like right now you're almost like dismissing what you've always believed about this connection and just like moving in the opposite direction, almost like this is the last straw for you. Maybe this is like a cycle that's gone on with this person, but maybe what's really upsetting you the most is that they're also like a friend, because this says discord among friends or family. There's a lot of these cards, when I read the description, talked about friendship in the cards. This is a card literally about friendship. So it's like, I feel like in this case it's like a friendship that has ended, maybe because you tried to take it to like a more romantic place or something like that. And I feel like at this point you're out of there. Like that's kind of how I feel. And let's just take a look at these cards, because like your person's being represented by a lion, and you see how this whale is swimming towards this other lion here. I feel like you might almost be with somebody else out of like spite or like revenge or something like that. Not that you're not free to like go and do whatever you want, I'm not saying it like that, but it's almost like I feel like that might be the reason. Or maybe this person, if there is a new person, this might not be for everybody, but you might have plans to kind of like do it soon or something like that. But I feel like whoever this person is, they're almost like a weaker echo, a more superficial version of like this person here that you really I feel like has really hurt you, because the whale is usually a very compassionate animal. I almost want to read the whale, but there's somebody that's been through a lot of things, and maybe like, and I specifically ask when I pull these cards, like what are you feeling towards your person right now? And that's represented by the whale. And like what the whale said was someone who's been through a lot of things, blah, 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 has a compassionate heart. So it's like, I feel like you did try to maybe let things slide with this person like a lot of times, but there was finally like one thing that was just like the final straw. And I don't feel like you're doing it. Remember how I said you're doing it out of spite? I don't even think that that's really accurate either. Like, I don't think you're doing it, because I don't feel like you're a person that does things out of spite. I feel like you're doing it because you're like, oh, this person must really not care about me if they would do that to me. Like, so you're just seeing it from that perspective. Like, okay, like this person just does not care about me. Like they just don't, like, and I can't keep making decisions based on like this person, like, because they don't care about me at all if they would do this to me or something like that. I feel like even like maybe your friends and family are like kind of like, okay, like this has to be the end. Like, okay, like you've gone on with this long enough. Like you need to stop. Like this needs to, you got to stop. Like you got to stop. This is too much now. And I feel like you're almost like in agreement with them. It's like, even though I know this is discord among friends or family, like I feel like it's almost like these three mice are kind of like in the same vibe. So it's like I feel like you're kind of like in agreement with them. But yeah, like I feel like if you are talking to a new person, it's almost like I was thinking about that episode of Friends where like, I don't know if you remember it or if you've ever seen it, but when like Rachel starts dating Russ, that guy that's like literally looks, I mean, I think it is played by David Schwimmer, so it is Ross, like in like a disguise or like makeup or different hair, but is literally has the same voice, like looks exactly like Ross. His name is Russ. It's like, that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like you might be talking to somebody that kind of has the same qualities or similar qualities. Maybe they look like them. Maybe something about them reminds you of them in a subconscious way, but it's not like that same bond that you have like with this person, or that you had, you know what I mean? If you're ready for this to be over, absolutely, that's your decision. But I almost feel like your spirit guides are coming in to be like, listen, like this isn't meant to like hurt you, it's meant to grow you. And I feel like your person is really like, this is like really affecting your person. First of all, I feel like they're having a very difficult time. This says staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. And I almost feel like this looks like a staff here. This looks like the same kind of a thing. Like, I know that looks like a match, but something, okay, that just like twirled around. I feel like almost like it's the same thing. Like it looks the same to me, like the same shape or something. So I feel like that's like your spirit guide's like, hey, we're here, just trying to say, like, your person is trying to like work through their fears. Your person's trying to like transform. And it said something about the lion, like the lion is the master of the fire element, it said, and which is like the master of transformation and personal mastery and things like that. So it's like I feel like your person is really like trying to like transform, or things are happening that's causing them to transform, whether they would classify it that way or not. Work through, and this Scorpio is all about transformation. So I feel like I kind of want to read the Scorpio thing. Work through your fears. This card suggests a rebirth. Think of your situation as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes, as the birth, death, rebirth paradigm. That's what Scorpio energy is all about. Whatever you've been through, there's a new start ahead. It might be a little dark. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns, but it will be deep and transforming. And the whale is all about depth too. But I almost feel like in this case, this whale is like coming out of the depth into the light here, like goodbye. And I almost feel like this is you, like in the dark, trying to find the light because it's a moth. And this is representative of your person's energy, kind of like comfortable there for a while. And like, or maybe even like your spirit guide trying to be like, hey, get back here. And you're just like, bye, like I'm doing me, like see ya, or something like that. There's, I think, a message too about like, listen to your own heart and like trust your spiritual guidance instead of necessarily your family and friend. Not instead of, but don't let like gossipy things like deter you from what you know is true in your heart. That's what I would say. But anyway, this card also suggests that if you know you are magical, then this is the time to work your magic. This is your person. It can also herald the start of a sexier time if you've been experiencing something of a drought, and emotional intimacy is also on the menu. Scorpio is the sign that likes to go deep into body, mind, and spirit. So when this card comes up, there's nothing superficial about what's coming your way. And I think that's kind of like maybe what happened here with your person. Maybe like it's like they wanted just to have some fun, some sexier times, but it was just gonna be too deep for them, so they like ran away, and now they're kind of like looking at their fears in the face. Work through your fears. They're trying to figure out, I think, why they did that and really work it out and attune to the moon, have some sexy time. I don't necessarily think they're doing that now. I honestly think that I think you might be, but I think they're more so trying to like figure out and like work on themselves right now. I feel like the drought is more what's happening with them. And it says Scorpio is a sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Its energy is a little bit dark, occult, and even scary. Not all of us like to face the shadow, but Scorpio demands it. In fact, it's through working through your dark side that you can get to the light, and the new moon in Scorpio and the appearance of this card at any other time suggests you need to do that now. And I feel like that is kind of like what they're doing. Maybe that whole thing, like I go crazy when I look in your eyes, maybe that's like your person. Like really, I don't feel like it's you. I don't feel like you're feeling like crazy about this person. I feel like you're more so turning away, like to just, it's like almost, yeah, like lighting a fire under you. Like you're just kind of like, fine, you don't want to be with me, fine, like you're getting out of this, like, you know what I mean? I feel like you're kind of done. I don't even necessarily feel like you're mad at this person, but I feel like you're just done. Like I feel like you're really done. And even like this card is a number 50. It's like 50. Like I feel like it's like you almost want to like wrap this up with a nice neat ending and have that be the end of it. Okay, like, you know what, mystery solved. This person never cared about me. What they just did proves that to me. Like, see ya. And you're like swimming out of the like deep end of the ocean here into the light. Like I'm really getting that. You're done trying to solve this mystery. Like you just want to live again or something like that. I'm gonna read your full moon in Leo thing from the book too. But you're looking at this relationship. Well, let's look at that real quick too. The way, like, because this is how you feel about each other. You're seeing a full moon, they're seeing a new moon, a death and a rebirth, like this card was talking about. You're seeing an ending. You're like, it's the ending. Like, it's like, that's how you're looking at it. They're seeing it as like, oh, like, what's this new part of the cycle, like, in this endless cycle here? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're looking at it differently. They think it's just another, like, cycle that you're going through, and you're like, that's the last cycle. I'll never go through it again, if that makes sense. All right, full moon in Leo. That's Capricorn. Don't let pride get in your way. Have you been letting your pride become an obstacle? Is the question you're asking based on your ego, or is it from your heart? Leo energy is all about the heart. Think of the big-hearted king of the jungle, the lion. Its energy is magnificent, but when it's combined with the rush of the full moon, it can become over the top. This card may have come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. More love and thoughts for the greater good are the solution to this dilemma. If you've not been doing as you would be done by lately, this is the time to find a balance between your own needs and the needs of the people around you. This will help all your relationships. Attune to the moon. Be magnificent without being plain too much. Additional meanings for this card. Self-esteem is good, vanity is not. Everyone is equally important. Creative urges should be followed. Works of magic. A friendship may be ending now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you guys were friends too. And it's like, you're almost like, you know what? Like, yeah, whatever. Like, if you kind of like ghosted me in a romantic way, but like, what about our friendship? Like, you don't even care about me as a friend. Like, I feel like you're like, you know what? Fine. I don't, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Like, kind of a thing. Like, you're not even a good friend. So goodbye. And maybe you feel like you've been like a really good friend to this person, and now you don't want to be anymore. But again, this is the card that came out in the middle here. That's like saying that like you have this ally, this spiritual ally. Again, I feel like maybe it goes kind of like beyond what's happening now. And it's like, at the end of the day, I think Spirit's just coming to remind you maybe of like the sacredness of this connection, even if you do decide to go your own ways. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even say ways, because I feel like you're the one making the decision here. Like, you're done like letting this person decide anything. Like, you're deciding for yourself is a big vibe. When the full moon comes in Leo, it can be a wonderfully bright time where people feel more confident to show the world their talents and assets. That's the upside of this lunation and of this card. However, take note that the Leo full moon combination creates a sort of tension between your needs and the needs of people in your networks. Leo full moon is a time to release pride. So maybe that's kind of what it is. You realize, like, you kind of feel like you've realized that this person just doesn't care about you, and maybe you're thinking back on the past and all the times that, like, all the time you wasted, all the times you feel like stupid about however things went down between you, and you're just kind of like, you know, never again. Like, I'm not going to let this person make me look stupid again, or something like that. So I really feel like that. So, all right, let's look into what this person is thinking and feeling and things like that. But I also wanted to mention, like, for the animals here, like the bottom of the deck energy, the connecting energy, we have the heart chakra here. So I think Spirit is really like bringing forth this message of like, there is something special between you, even if they're acting like a douchebag. So, but at the same time, like, do what you got to do right now. So like, for yourself, and maybe, you know, this is all part of the process, I'm sure. And you might, you know, come to a different conclusion later, but okay. So let's check in on your person. What are they thinking about you right now? I'm going to get all the cards quick. What is Gemini's person thinking about Gemini? The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's two. I only want one. What is Gemini's person thinking about Gemini right now? That's the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups. What is Gemini's person thinking about Gemini right now? Oh my God. Okay. What is Gemini's person thinking about Gemini right now? We have the Page of Swords. What is Gemini's person feeling towards Gemini right now? What is Gemini's person? What is Gemini's person feeling? We have the Four of Wands. Okay. And what is Gemini's person's intentions towards Gemini right now? Hi, Kiki. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And what is Gemini's person's next actions? The Six of Wands. Okay. King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And then we're also going to get some of these cards. What is Gemini's person's thoughts about Gemini right now? Victory, we have that twice. Okay. And envy on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And what is Gemini's person's feelings towards Gemini? We have woman holding a coin. And what is Gemini's person's intentions towards Gemini? Patience. Okay. with women holding a heart, I mean, I feel like they've banged up your heart enough and they're not going to make any moves right now. And what is Gemini's person's next actions? Attachment. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and then we have storm warning as the overall energy. So like things are like a mess between you guys right now. I really feel like there was some, again, oh, Archangel, we have the heart chakra again though. Remember how we like had that here? And I feel like, I mean, if you work with Archangel Raphael, that could be him coming through to be like, hey, like, don't forget, like, you know, the bond between you guys. But at the same time, like, this is the actual overall energy, like the storm warning card. So it's like, I feel like things are chaotic and like a mess right now. So what is your person thinking about you, Gemini? What are, we have the Page of Swords and the Victory card. And what's one to get here? Seahorse, family matters. Interesting. So I feel like they could be thinking almost like how, wait, let me just get one of these. I'm sorry. What is, we have Debbie Downer. Interesting. I feel like they're thinking about like how, if they've been like watching your social media or something with the Page of Swords, unless you've blocked them or something like that. It's like, again, I feel like I was getting the vibe over here. I forget where it was, where it's like, I don't want to like upset this person any more than I already have or something like that. It's like, I feel like they're just sort of wanting to, I think they see you sort of like acting like you're in your glory or something. If they're watching you on social media, that's kind of what I'm getting. Like maybe you're posting a lot with your family and friends or something like that, trying to like act like you're having a good time. I feel like if anything, they're down to see you that way, almost like they're seeing this sort of like victorious energy on your part, because this is like a woman on this card. I'm just thinking that like, and this is a man over here on the Page of Swords, so I'm just getting that's like two distinct different energies. It's almost like they're like, ooh, like if maybe, like, I hate to say, if they saw that you were like sad or something, they might be more inclined to sort of like jump in there and be like, hey, I'm sorry. But it's like almost like you're in a more fiery energy, because we have the Six of Wands here too. So that's why like the Victory card is often associated with the Six of Wands. So it's a victory card. So I feel like if anything, they're just almost like seeing you sort of in your glory, and it's like almost they're a little bit like, let me watch and wait. If I see an opening, if I see an opportunity, maybe like for instance, like they wouldn't directly approach you or anything like that, because the Page of Swords is like a message, but it's like this Page of Swords is like holding back. It's almost like they know that they have to be like on the defense right now, because you would probably like come at them or something. Like I feel like they think that you're mad at them. So I feel like they're not trying to like, they're trying to be very cautious. They're sort of watching and waiting. They see you sort of like doing good, and you'll know if that resonates if you've been trying to like almost, not, I don't want to say project an image, but maybe you kind of just are done with the situation and you're just feeling better. You know what I mean? Like you don't have like this sadness, this confusion about this connection bringing you down anymore. And then moving here to their feelings, we have the Four of Wands and the woman holding a coin. So it's like, I think they do feel like really happy when they're with you, but hold on, let's just see. What is Gemini's person feeling? We have Casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Oh my God. So it's like almost like they see this as like the end of like the good times or something between you. Hold on, let me get this. And we also have Leo energy coming through again. Like, okay, there's a Lion here, there's a Leo here. This Leo energy was on the bottom of the deck. Like, there's so much Leo energy here. It's like, how do they feel about you? They feel very romantic and passionate about you. It's like Leo energy lines up to me with the Four of Wands, even though this says this is Aries energy here. But I don't care. Like, to me, the Four of Wands is like a very like fun, playful, happy sort of an energy. It reminds me of Leo energy, but it's almost like all the fun, like I don't know, something about like an opportunity for like true fun and happiness, like really going out of their, like out of their life or something going out of your life, or the end of a situation, like the end of like this person's chance for happiness. It's like, again, I think they really like are looking at their fears like, why do I do this? Why do I mess this up all the time? Like I don't feel like they're happy that they do that. And then we have woman holding a coin. So I think they're feeling almost like inferior to you, and almost like, oh, it's like for the best. Like I'm kind of getting a vibe like that. Like this person, it's almost like they're telling themselves that like they're seeing you, I think, in this victorious energy, like doing good too. So maybe not that you're flaunting your wealth or anything, but remember how this card was kind of talking about being a little bit too much. So maybe like they, not that they think that you're too much, but they almost think like, oh, this person has everything anyway, like they don't need me. They're kind of being a little bit like, oh, like poor me or something like that. Like I kind of feel like that, like they're feeling a little bit down like that. But they're definitely sad though. Like the casket, it's like it's they're grieving. Like they're grieving. They're grieving the end of like your friendship, maybe here with the Four of Wands, and the end of like just like some really fun, like romantic, like even if it wasn't romantic, but like Leo is all about play and creativity and passion and stuff. Like it could just be having like really good discussions with each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like you realize you have like a lot in common with this person. You're both kind of goofy and like to have fun and stuff like that. And it's like, it's almost like they realize that they changed you into like this business like person when it comes to them. Whether you guys have interacted or not, it's almost like they know that they're gonna get like a different side of you now, like this more like business like person. And they're just kind of like, I think, lamenting the loss of like the way your connection used to be. Like, you know what I mean? Even if it was just the friendship part and it was they're not even thinking about the romantic aspect, but I think they are with Leo. There's 2 hearts on this card. Then moving over to their intentions, patience, and the 8 of Pentacles, I think they're going to continue the self-work. In this case, I think it might be to sort of like match you on a level here. If you're like, they see you as the woman holding a coin. So maybe that's something that they're realizing, the way that they're working through their fears is that they feel like inferior to you. So maybe they're going to try to like step up their game. This is like the card about being an apprentice, and the woman holding a coin is kind of like a master energy. So it's almost like they want to get on that same level themselves. It's like with the patience, obviously a clock, but it's almost like I'm getting a sense like a clock is ticking. Like I gotta get moving here with this, with myself. Like I have to like get myself in order here. I feel like, oh, I didn't even get like the other cards, the little cards. But yeah, I feel like they're almost like their intentions are to sort of like really like hustle. Like, I don't know. We have crib, birth or conception of a child, or enterprise. Like, I feel like that's sort of like the same vibe. Like they want to try to, that whole rebirth thing. It's like they want to have, like, this card is sticking out too. Needle and thread, a sincere wish will be granted. So maybe they're going to try to like, just maybe they're going to try to, create, like start a business or something, or get a new job, or like just fix their finances in general, even if they have like a good job or something like that. It's like I'm getting a sense like with the coin, there's a lot of like pentacles energy like right here. So it's like I feel like something about your pentacles like influenced this fear reaction in them, and like I think they're realizing that, and they're trying to sort of like get themselves right so they can not have that be a factor anymore, and like not have them have that same reaction. Because again, remember, they don't, I mean, they do feel sad that, like, you know, there's something changed between you here drastically with the casket energy, but they're also seeing this in the energy of, like, what's dead can be reborn, like, what can rise again. Like, they're seeing this as a beginning. Like, there can be a new beginning here. So it's like, you're not really looking at this the same way. So if you're, like, I'm saying this and you're like, it's over, I don't care, like, you know, whatever. But, like, that's just not the way that they're looking at it, because we had this speculum card here. Glass, which is all about perspective. So I think Spirit's really wanting to bring to mind, like, you both are looking at this completely different. How else? What are their intentions? Gemini's person's intentions. We have Aquarius energy. I feel like they're almost trying to like pull back from this connection too, but in order to like further it, if that makes sense. Like they're not trying to contact you or anything right now. Like I was saying, they're seeing you in your glory, and I think they're almost like, good for you. I'm gonna sort of watch and wait, keep an eye on the situation. If I see an opening, I'll make my move or something like that. But in the meantime, I'm going to pull back. That same aloof energy that the lion was talking about, like, I think they're really going to, like, kind of hunker down and sort of, because this is the sun in Virgo energy. So it's like Virgo energy, the Eight of Pentacles. So they're really gonna get a handle on their daily routine. They're gonna get a handle on their finances. They're gonna get like their habits under control. And I was just gonna say here, they may have some sort of addiction moving on to their next actions. I think they're gonna overcome some sort of addiction. Six of Wands, they're overcoming their attachment to something, to this false way that they need to be, the way that they always have to pull back and have a mask on, to some sort of addiction. I think it could be like an addiction in this case, but let's just get these cards. What is Gemini's person's next actions? Funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. And let's get one of these. They want to overcome this though, so I feel like they're just in a dark energy. Secrets. So maybe it's some sort of secret addiction that you don't even know about. But with the mask, it could just be like their unwillingness to like open up to people. Like they want to overcome that. And maybe them being apart from you and you sort of like swimming that way back, you know, away from them is causing them to be frustrated, causing this desire for them to change that never would have happened otherwise. This is Leo energy too. This is Jupiter and Leo. So it's like they're trying to expand that self-mastery sort of an energy here. And this is really like causing them to grow like quite a bit. I just want to say this is really like having whatever is going on between you guys or whatever happened has really been a catalyst for them to like look deep within themselves. And again, I'm not saying that like, oh, so you should be with them. Like I would never say that. It's obviously up to each individual person what they want to do. We all have free will, but just FYI, like you have an effect on this person, like for sure. Oh, this isn't in the right spot. Sorry. Okay. So let's get some messages from them and see what they would most want to say. And I don't even feel like this is your person like coming through. I'm ashamed of the way I've treated you. I feel like this is like your spirit guides coming through, like angels or whoever. Like there's somebody like, maybe you have like a guide that like watches over this connection or something like that, because I feel like that's who's coming through to like be like to like remind you of like that this is like someone that you've always felt was truly your friend or was truly your ally, was just truly a good person. I feel like you're almost like spirit wants you, your spirit guides want you to remember that like this is truly a good person, that maybe did some bad things, but that doesn't change like who they are or something like that. Only because I feel like you really have come to the conclusion that this person doesn't care about you. And I feel like spirit's like, that's not true. Like they're just effed up. Like they have a lot of fear. But again, that doesn't mean you should like just forgive them or anything like that. But just so you know what I mean? So let's see. What would Gemini's person most want to say to them? I know I have to save myself. You can't do it for me. Yes. Like I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to like, again, like you're like this woman holding a coin. You have overcome probably lots of things in your life with these two victories here. It's like you're not afraid to like be the real you or something like that. Look, you have such a healing presence. It's so hard for me to believe that something so good could really be meant for me. It's like they don't believe in the goodness of themselves and they don't believe that they're worthy maybe. And with your healing presence, it's like I was saying, they feel inferior to you, but maybe in the way that like they've seen you like overcome so many things and like they can't even overcome this. That's like what they would say. All right, what else would I just almost said Leo's person, Gemini's person want to say? I've never felt so much pain yet so much love at the same time. So especially if you were thinking that this person just like doesn't care about you at all, I wouldn't say that it's that. Like I don't think it's that. Look, my feelings for you are the realest thing I've ever felt. Like this isn't a case of someone that doesn't care about you. I feel like your friendship does mean a lot to them, and just you as a person mean a lot to them. And I know that I'm getting that they didn't show it to you. I never decided to trust you and love you. One day I just realized you snuck in there somehow. So it's like they weren't expecting this, like, you know, and this is just like, remember how this card was talking about like in many lifetimes you guys have had this bond or whatever. So it's like you just remember it, you just feel it when you meet each other or when you talk to each other. And it's like, you know, you didn't ask for it, they didn't ask for it either though, you know, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just a mess, like that whole storm energy. You have such strength. Again, this is sort of why they're kind of comparing themselves to you. And just feeling like they're falling short. You judge people on their character, oh God, alone and never for any superficial reasons. I think they see you as like quite a beautiful person here. And almost like maybe they're somebody that seems superficial sometimes, and it's almost like they want to be more like you or something like that, or they just like look up to you or so much. You're so ambitious. Should we just take these and then leave it at that? It says, I love how beautiful you are inside and out. You're more to me than just sex, but I can't deny how much I do want you. I feel like that could be a sensitive subject here. If you're feeling crazy, please know I do too a lot. And the song you got was I Go Crazy. So, interesting. I've never met anyone like you. I feel like you're like their hero. I was just thinking about this. I'm watching The Good Wife now, but I don't even know what episode it is, but it's my favorite couple, Kurt and Diane. And she's defending him. She's a lawyer and he's like a gun expert, like when there's a case that involves like gunfire, he like comes in or whatever and is an expert, and like someone's suing him that got wrongfully imprisoned. And I don't know, it's like she defends him, whatever, he ends up getting off. And like well, there's this one part where he's watching her just like go on about like, because the guy he was wrongfully convicted because of some false evidence, but then like they realized that like it really was him that was the killer, but like it was just the evidence was different than what they thought, but he still got off, like, and didn't have to go back to jail or prison or whatever. And then the other lawyer was still going to continue to sue, and she's like, I will make it my life's mission to keep him from making money from this, like, da-da-da-da-da, like, just, like, going off, and he's, like, looking at her, and, like, later he's like, you're my hero. Like, it's just, like, I feel like that's how they feel about you, like, you're my hero. Maybe, like, not, like, my hero, but, like, they just have so much respect for you. Oh, what's that song? Rod Stewart, You're in My Heart. I just heard that too. My love for you is immeasurable. My respect for you immense. Like maybe that song I think is how they feel about you. You're so smart in so many ways. They just think you're amazing. I never meant to hurt you, but like, right. Like there's that. You're my perfect match in every way. Like they did hurt you though, even if they didn't mean to. Look, I allowed others to distort my perception of you. There's something about distorted. I don't know if that's the case necessarily, but there's something about you guys are both looking at this like completely differently. I feel like maybe this is for you and you're like allowing other people to not distort your perception, but to influence your true knowing about this person, I would say. So just like sit with it and think about it. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, that's the case. And if it's not, it's not. But I would just consider it as a possibility. So all right, guys, I just feel like your spirit guides are really coming through strong to say that. Like, so I just want to like communicate their message like as accurately as I can. And I feel like they're really like, hey, like, you know, is this really like, what are you really thinking? Like, just like sit with this. Like, they just really want you to like kind of make sure that this is like your true knowing in your heart, or is it just pride getting in your way because you don't want to like look stupid or whatever? Like, I don't know. Sorry. Okay. I feel like I'm not offending anybody, but all right, guys, we're gonna bounce out of here now. So thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one. Okay. Bye.